Once upon a time, in a bright and peaceful forest, all the animals lived happily, playing, laughing, and sharing everything. It was a perfect place. But one day, that all changed. A big, grumpy lion moved into the forest. He roared, "I'm the king now! Bring me food every day, or else!" The poor animals were scared. Every morning, one animal had to walk to the lion's den, never to return. The forest became silent and full of fear. Then one day, under a big shady tree, the animals gathered. "What do we do now?" whispered the squirrel. "I don't want to be next," cried the monkey. Suddenly, a small voice spoke up. "I'll go," said a little gray rabbit named Ravi. He was small, but his eyes were full of clever sparkle. "You?" said the elephant. "But you're so tiny." Ravi smiled and munched on his carrot. "I have a plan." The next morning, Ravi didn't rush. He took his time, brushed his teeth, tied his red shoes, ate a full breakfast, and then hopped slowly toward the lion's den. When he finally got there, the lion roared in anger. "You're late! I'm starving!" But Ravi stayed calm and said, "I was bringing 5 rabbits, but another lion attacked us on the way." He said he was the real king of this forest. The lion's eyes grew wide. "Another lion? In my forest?" Ravi nodded. "Yes, he's hiding in a big shiny cave. I can show you." The lion growled, "Take me there, now!" So Ravi led the lion to a deep, shiny well. "There he is," whispered Ravi. "He's hiding inside." The lion looked in and saw a fierce face staring back. But guess what? It was just his own reflection. The lion roared, "I'll show you who's king!" And with a mighty leap, splash! He jumped straight into the water. The forest was quiet for a moment. Then, all the animals cheered. "Ravi saved us! We're free again!" From that day on, the forest was happy once more. And Ravi, he was a hero, not because he was big, but because he was smart, calm, and brave. And the moral of the story is, you don't have to be big to be brave. Use your brain, stay calm, and you can solve anything. In the heart of a bright and blooming jungle, there lived a very shy little elephant named Ellie. Ellie was kind, quiet, and always tiptoed so she wouldn't disturb the butterflies. But Ellie had one tiny problem. She didn't think she was special. All the other animals had cool talents. The monkeys could swing and flip. The parrots could sing all day. And the zebras had stripes that made everyone say, "Wow!" But Ellie? She just had a long, ordinary trunk. Or so she thought. One rainy day, while Ellie wandered into a hidden glade, she stumbled on something sparkly. It looked like a glowing flower. She sniffed it with her trunk, and poof! A puff of rainbow mist shot out. Ellie squeaked and twirled around. Did her trunk just do that? She tried again. Poof! Another cloud of color. Red, then blue, then green. Ellie giggled for the first time in forever. She painted swirls in the air, dotted leaves with glitter, and gave the clouds a magical rainbow shine. The jungle animals peeked out. "Who's making the sky so pretty?" chirped a toucan. "Is it Ellie?" whispered a turtle. Ellie froze. Everyone was watching. But then the youngest monkey clapped. "That's amazing! Do it again, Ellie!" Ellie smiled. Not a small, shy smile, but a big, proud one. She painted flowers in the sky, hearts on trees. She even gave the zebra polka dots for a day. He loved it. From that day on, Ellie became the rainbow artist of the jungle. And guess what? She learned something magical too. Sometimes, the quietest ones have the most colorful gifts inside. What special talent might you have hiding inside? Keep trying, and you just might paint your own rainbow one day. In a quiet village, nestled between gentle hills, lived a little girl named Lily. She was curious, kind-hearted, and just a little bit shy. One morning, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Lily found something strange under a dusty cloth. It was a beautiful old clock, made of gold and silver leaves, with glowing hands and a gentle tick-tick-tick. But as she lifted it, the ticking stopped. Lily said, "That's odd. Is it broken?" She brought it to her grandmother, who smiled knowingly. Grandma said, "That clock is very special, Lily. It only ticks when you're doing something kind." Lily's eyes widened in wonder. "A kindness clock," she whispered. That afternoon, Lily spotted a little bird tangled in string near the garden. Carefully, she freed it and whispered, "There you go, little one." Soft tick. The clock began to tick again, gently, sweetly. The next day, Lily saw her friend Max crying. He'd lost his favorite toy bear. Lily helped him search all over the park. Finally, she found it tucked under a bench. Tick, tick. The clock chimed twice. Brighter, merrier. Max said, "Thanks, Lily. You're the best." She smiled, and the clock ticked once more. One rainy morning, Lily saw a new student at the bus stop, soaked and shivering. Without a second thought, she held out her umbrella. Lily said, kindly, "Come under, it's warmer together." Tick, tick, tick. The clock glowed warmly in her pocket, close to her heart. Days turned to weeks. Lily's kindness grew, not for the clock, but for how it made her feel. Warm, joyful, right. She carried books for her teacher, shared her crayons at art time, listened patiently when her friends were sad. And the clock? It ticked and twinkled like a little star in her pocket. One evening, Lily found the clock glowing brighter than ever. Then, poof, it softly disappeared into a swirl of golden dust. Grandma said, hugging Lily, "Kindness doesn't need a clock anymore. You've made it part of your heart." From that day on, Lily didn't need ticking sounds to guide her, because she knew a beautiful truth. Every kind act is its own kind of magic. In a small, bustling town, where the streets buzzed with bicycles and chai stalls, lived a boy named Ravi. He was curious, clever, and always a little late for everything, except when it came to his grandpa's stories. One rainy afternoon, Ravi stumbled into his grandfather's dusty old garage. Among rusted tools and forgotten pots sat a peculiar rickshaw, painted red and gold, with tiny bells that jingled softly. "That rickshaw used to fly," Grandpa said with a wink, "but only when it was used for good." Ravi laughed. "A flying rickshaw? That's impossible!" Grandpa just smiled and handed him a brass key shaped like a wing. Later that week, Ravi saw a woman struggling with her grocery bags in the rain. Remembering Grandpa's words, he offered her a ride home in the old rickshaw. As he pedaled through puddles, something magical happened. The wheels lifted off the ground. The rickshaw soared above the rooftops, smooth as a bird on a breeze. "Whoa!" Ravi gasped. "It really flies!" Back on the ground, the rickshaw settled quietly. Ravi told Grandpa what happened. Grandpa nodded. "You see, the rickshaw runs on kindness, not petrol. The more good you do, the farther it'll take you." From that day on, Ravi made it his mission to help others. He gave rides to tired school kids, helped lost tourists find their way, and delivered fresh bread to a lonely old man every Sunday. Each act of kindness made the rickshaw glow brighter and fly higher. One evening, Ravi saw smoke in the distance, a house fire. The streets were jammed, but the rickshaw lifted into the sky and flew over the crowd. Ravi spotted a scared puppy trapped on a rooftop. With a steady heart, he swooped down, scooped it up, and soared back to safety. The crowd below erupted in cheers, and the rickshaw gave a proud little jingle. Over time, Ravi became known as the boy with the flying rickshaw. But he didn't care about fame or applause. What he loved most was the look of surprise and joy on people's faces. And every time he helped someone, the rickshaw seemed to say, "This is what I was made for." And so, with a rickshaw powered by kindness and the sky as his road, Ravi learned the greatest adventure of all is helping others, one ride at a time.
In a quiet village surrounded by hills, there lived a girl named Mira. She had the heart of a dreamer and the eyes of an adventurer. But there was one place she was told never to go: the Whispering Forest. They said the trees whispered secrets that only the brave could hear. One evening, Mira saw a tiny creature glowing like a firefly. It was a squirrel with golden fur and a sparkling tail. Lumo said, "Come, Mira, the forest has a story just for you." Mira's heart thumped. She was scared, but more than that, she was curious. Tree whispers, soft, echoing welcome, Mira, the brave one. With every step, the forest whispered a tale of kindness, of courage, of those who came before and dared to listen. The trees remembered a squirrel helping a bird, a knight sharing his food, a girl planting a single seed. And now they were sharing these stories with her. Lumo said, "Stories live in roots and leaves, but only the curious can find them." Mira didn't just find stories, she became one. And from that day on, the forest whispered a new tale of the girl who listened and walked with courage. If you loved this magical tale, like, share, and subscribe for more adventures with Mira and her friends.